All right, it's Friday morning, and I'm excited, and you can see a smile on my face, and that's because I'm happy. It's barely less than 24 hours to the most anticipated 2015 election. And for me and for you, we're looking forward to a free, fair, transparent, credible election come tomorrow morning. We have been saying this, and we will say it again. Tomorrow morning, 8 a.m., everybody's out there to do their accreditation all the way to about 1 p.m. And then from 1:30 p.m. in the afternoon, the election starts proper. Let everybody be orderly. If you are going to vote at all, vote well. If you are not going to vote, stay at home. This is Crossfire. This is Channel 196 on Star Times. And I'm using this opportunity to welcome you to our Friday special. My name is Dapo Banjo, and driving the show with me this morning, as usual, is Barrister Ishoma Againe.
Good morning, Nigerians, and you're welcome to the show.
Shoma, I know that a lot of Nigerians missed you
yesterday.
I did. At least I missed I missed your bantering. I missed your, I missed that part. I actually missed that part. There was no female flavor to the show yesterday. It was just all male. Good to see you again, Ishoma. And then, as usual, we promised you yesterday that we're bringing this reverend gentleman back to the show. And I have with me to analyze, to evaluate, to synthesize, just to ensure that Nigerians are well informed as we go out tomorrow to exercise our civic responsibility. I have with me in the studio, Mr. Gbola Oba.
I'm looking for the collar. Reverend gentleman. But anyway, I'll take it literally. I'll take it literally.
You're welcome, sir.
All right, Mr. Gbola Oba, nice having you on the show. It's barely 24 hours to the elections. And I, as a Nigerian and as a pro-Nigerian for that matter, I'm looking forward to a very robust, period of election, and I believe very strongly that a lot of well-meaning Nigerians are looking forward to really enjoy, what eventually will be coming out of 2015 election. Like we said on the show yesterday, this morning we're looking at, as Nigerians decide, the significance of the 2015 elections, the significance. What are the things that we should look for in these elections?
That is a question that can be responded to from here till kingdom come. It's a very, very broad spectrum question. The only thing that is very unique about this is that this is the first time in our political history that the ruling party will be having an opposition or a main opposition party that is in every material particular worthy of the name opposition. The ruling parties had always had a ragtag format of opposition parties punching into the air without making any difference. Even if Goodluck Ebele Jonathan were to win this election, he ordinarily, and PDP ordinarily, would have known that in the last 16 years of this Fourth Republic, this is the first time that they have faced a very potent, very strategic, very vehement form of opposition. Yeah, that is unique about this election.
And when you look at all the necessary elements of a free, fair, credible election, the voters' education, the role of the media, when you consider security and all of that, do you think we have it adequate for the 2015 elections?
It is not Uhuru yet. And I don't want to pretend to be prescient. I don't want to sit here and be a clairvoyant or a babalawo to tell you what will happen tomorrow. I only know what happened yesterday because I've read the newspapers. I know what is happening today because, come to think of it, social media is now keeping us abreast. But I am confident that we are going to be having a relatively better set of elections that we've ever had before in this fourth
How about
republic.
security-wise?
And yeah, that includes, or my submission includes all the paraphernalia of a normal, reasonable, better elections. I want to believe that the security infrastructure will hold its ground tomorrow. I want to believe that there may be pockets. You know, Nigeria is a very humongous, very big country. So it is not impossible that in some pockets of of the country, some elements and some characters may want to be adventurous. But I see a security infrastructure that can not only contain, but indeed submerge any mischievous character who may want to be up to any untoward this thing. I'm also some constitutional romanticist. You are a barrister. You're a barrister of law, and some of your ilk, especially in the opposition party. I've got nothing against this thing. Constitutional romanticists. They are constitutional Puritans. They don't want soldiers to be involved in the elections. I think that is pushing the Constitution to the level of utopia. Realpolitik tells us at this juncture that given this charged atmosphere, I don't want the soldiers to be involved with the administration of elections. I don't want to see the soldiers at the polling stations. But for God's sake, Gbola Oba now talking as a Nigerian and an individual. If I look through the window tomorrow and I don't see soldiers, just driving around on the street as a form of deterrence, I may not come out. Especially if I think of the place where I was born. It's good to be fortunate now to be living on the Lekki-Ajah axis. But you see, if I was still in Mushin where I was born, given the fervid ambience and the atmosphere there, I may not necessarily want to come out
if you can't see that presence.
That is Gbola Oba, yes, and that is not gospel, and I'm not a wiseacre. I'm not all knowledgeable on this thing. But you see, some cues one uses to protect himself or herself. I would want to enjoin other Nigerians.
Now, but truth is, a lot of Nigerians actually may be in your category. I feel as an individual, as Dapo Banjo now, I don't think, because I've always believed in, I used this term yesterday, and you rightly, put it in the perspective that it should be, so that Nigerians don't really get it confused or mixed up. And that is the way the media has publicized it, and that is the fact that we are militarizing the elections. Now, it is not
it's
actually...
kind of sending fear messages to the people.
It's not actually like a militarization of the election. We're just saying we need the military presence.
You know something that is unique about this program today now is that I see you and your, valued colleague. I see the two of you agreeing on an issue that is, generally, there has been a political football of a sort amongst the two parties.
Well, in the interest of peace.
In the interest of peace.
During the elections.
God bless you, my sister. A spirit of a pastor nearly came upon me. I wanted to say,
But sir, before today on the show, we came out and we educated Nigerians, and we told Nigerians that because we've been able to realize that some of the issues that led to violence, particularly during the 2011 elections, where one of the issues were unfulfilled promises made by aspirants to the electorate. Now, we know also, because that's one of the trends during campaigns, all the aspirants will come out and make various pledges to the people. We will do this, we will do that. And then we know it's not healthy to 100% rely on this, because when you 100% believe in this, the possibility that one could be disappointed will probably be high. But then, from your own angle, do you believe, or do you see that some of these promises will be fulfilled by whoever it is that wins the elections? Do you think there's a possibility?
Anything to go by?
The way you guys ask questions sometimes, it's like you want to put somebody on a very slippery... But you see, individual elector would be in a better position to say, okay, candidate A said he was going to do this 4 years ago. For me, he has done it. For me, he has not done it. You see, when I have the privilege of political punditry, and on such a very powerful platform as this, I don't like abusing it. Honestly, I don't like abusing it. Because come to think of it, the question is a very tricky, very dicey question. For Gbola Oba, if candidate A has fulfilled his promises, for you, candidate A may not have fulfilled his promises. The only thing, because I don't want us to shoot too far, I don't want us to be aiming at the moon now, because we may end up not even getting the bullets to land on the treetop. Let's keep our focus now on having a peaceful election tomorrow. And some of the things that ordinarily exasperate people, some of the things that ordinarily exasperate people, get them irritated and get them, to be a bit tense and a bit disorderly, are the things that we want to prepare them against from today so that they don't misbehave at their polling unit tomorrow. It is not impossible. I guess this is my camera.
Yeah, no, that's okay.
It is not impossible that when you get to your polling unit tomorrow, technology may have a little hitch-up or hiccup. Don't be agitated. Don't be agitated. There are enough provisions from INEC to solve it. In case you get there tomorrow, and after ascertaining the veracity of your PVC, which is going to be the first thing they will do, if your biometric does not sail through properly, INEC has an alternative methodology to allow you to vote. In case, even in a worst case scenario, let's say the smart card reader in your polling unit kaput, it don't work. INEC has a backup infrastructure to attend to you, because these are the things that may make people to think, what am I paying? What if we don't, it does not pay anybody.
True. Violence doesn't pay.
I'm telling you, and to be honest with you, ultimately, you cannot be powerful enough to overrun the enormous security infrastructure that is out there. So it's better you keep a level head, follow the instructions of the INEC officials, and things will go
well. Really and truly, I believe that, like I said at the beginning of the show, well-meaning Nigerians, educated or not educated, a lot of people in my area yesterday, I heard one person contesting for, a senatorial seat, came to the area and gave, money, and it resulted into a very serious, exactly, and it resulted into a lot of tension between, rivalry, rivalry groups, thugs, in the area. About 3 people lost their lives. Children, people, 2 secondary school students.
There was one about 5 days or 6 days ago too in Mushi. I heard about that. Some thugs killed themselves over $1 million that was given to them by some political chieftains. But you know what? Those are the apocryphals, the superfluity. Every system has its mainstream and its fringes. Those ones. I wonder the guy who got himself killed now. If he will be voting in heaven, or if he will be voting in hell, because
because you don't even know where he's going in the first place. Now let's look at what is happening today into tomorrow. I know a lot of people. The whole environment, everywhere is tensed and and tensioned by the fact that we quickly need to get back home. We quickly need to go and prepare for the elections. And all of that. Now the challenge is that I hope that government has put machineries in place to understand that there could be, bottlenecks here and there for people, to get to their place of abode before the deadline.
And a lot of people have been traveling out of the country.
Exactly.
Out of the
state.
Well, not just the state. Well, the nation, Nigeria.
Out of the state.
You guys saw
the picture that people are doing.
No, but that's the truth. A lot of persons have been running to neighboring African countries.
A typical panoramic shot
you
of
don't need a flight.
Very
Murtala Mohammed Airport,
You don't need a flight
or the
ticket to go to
typical
Cotonou.
Friday night or Saturday night, and you are over. Look, I did a cursory mental examination of my list of friends yesterday, and majority of them are in the country.
They're in town.
But that does not speak to the generality.
No, look, for me, because I am either middle, substantially middle, or upper middle class Nigerian. If my friends ain't running out,
because your friends are upper class.
oh, look,
The average woman with so much children. Those of them who can go to the UK are going to Cotonou.
Hold on to your thought. We'll go on let's go on a short break now, and then when we come back, we'll pick from where we just stopped. We'll be right back. All right, we are back. This is Crossfire, and we have a guest in the studio, and we've been just talking generally about the 2015 elections, and the way we are put it is that what is the significance? What are the general significance of the 2015 elections? And we've been looking at a couple of issues as it borders around, the elections. And Mr. Gbola Oba has been very analytical. And a lot of English, that he has used that I don't even know the meaning, I intend to
come and punish me.
No, I just had to know.
If you want to make a speak book, make with a speak book.
No, now that's the challenge. I can't really speak pidgin, so so we need to just stick to this. But let's just take it to this level. Okay. Now, yesterday there was a peace pact that was signed by the two most popular parties. Jonathan and Buhari, and the platform was curated by the president of Nigeria that actually, who helped, us to the country, reposition the country into democracy in 1999.
Into this democratic experiment. To this democratic dispensation.
Okay, democratic dispensation, because yesterday we actually looked at it.
Dispensation is better than experimentation.
Okay, now, do you think this? Do you think this is anything to go by?
No, it is quite good. Okay. It is good.
Okay.
It's a sign of our underdevelopment. It's a sign of how volatile or touchy things are, but it's also a positive demonstration of the fact that if the two principals are not killing themselves, if the two principals are preaching against violence, some people, some degree of sobriety may get into the acts of those who may be predisposed
to want to cause any form of violence.
Let's be very honest with ourselves. The only reason why you want to teach a 6-year-old child to walk is because that child is a bit, maybe has Down syndrome or something. So it is not a good sign of our level of political development, but it is a good dramatization of the fact that, look, on this occasion, none of the two principal characters in the field of play is endorsing anything that is inconsistent with the peaceful.
But do you think it will have any effect particularly because the average thug on the street.
Given the fact that the penultimate won.
And there are some people also, some thugs on the street who do not even know who these candidates are, who do not even know anything. But they know, but then they do not know anything about the contents of the peace accord.
No, to be honest with you,
what effect would this?
The peace accord. I don't want to. Really
if I was framing your question, I would have said, do you really think this will hold water or will be effective on the street, given the fact that the penultimate one that was done so dramatically in Abuja with hugging and Kofi Annan, this is what became of it in the light of the fact that yesterday morning Oshodi was overrun by some characters, parts of Maryland, part of
Constain and other parts of the country.
In some other parts of the country, shootings in rivers and Okrika and this thing, the president's entourage being pelted with. So, your question is quite legitimate, that if one were to look at the post-signing of the first peace accord, what became of it? But we can, it is eternal for man to hope that the best will manifest.
From this.
And if you can put a degree of drama to it, why do you, are you a Christian or a Muslim?
I'm a Christian.
Why do you go to church every Sunday, irrespective that you sometimes had a bad week? God, because you are still trusting that God will do it. He will do it.
So then we should trust and hope that there will be peace.
We open and praying.
Well, we believe.
We believe in open and praying that majority of Nigerians will see the sense in what these principal officers of the two de facto parties have done to also emulate them by, when you get to the polling unit, if you see somebody that you know does not even support the party you support, be polite to that person, greet yourselves, let it just end at the level of that ideological or...
see it as a game, and there's be a loser and
because
a
it's
winner.
not, these people are not worth dying for, to be honest with you.
True.
Do we agree on that too?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody is worth dying for. Christ died for all of us.
When you want to shout something equivalent to shout hallelujah in the mosque, what do you do? Allah.
Allah.